Yes, there's another thing you posted. It's something I laugh about. Okay, it's about the Trump tariffs and and how it has changed economics all over the world, right? And recently, he now put 100% tariffs on your industry. Okay, so you and your mates cannot sell Nollywood movies to America without paying another 100%. Well, either you guys or the consumers will pay the 100% tariffs. So tell me,
No, actually,
how do you see the tariffs in itself? Okay, one, and then the impact in your industry.
well, to be honest with you, I was just clowning around actually, to be honest with you. Uh, it's it was a situation where I just said to myself, wow, if every country retaliates with the same 100% tariff on
Mm,
American films,
mm,
it's going to be like a comedy show because see, uh, Hollywood earns over 60% of its revenue abroad.
yes.
Yeah. So if every country was to slap 100% tariff on Hollywood movies coming into their countries, it would make it very difficult for people to be able to afford to watch Hollywood films.
Yeah.
So conversely, I just figured that man, that's a great thing. Because if Hollywood films are going to be difficult to come into other countries,
Yes.
then there's going to be a gap created.
Okay.
And and obviously that's good for both
For Nollywood, yes.
because they can at last start looking to make films that can be seen in their own countries and make money and also export to other countries apart from
Mm,
America.
mm,
So it was just I was just looking at a situation that what if,
yeah.
and I was hoping that everybody would turn around and say, look, oh, if you are if you're putting 100% film tariffs on all our films coming to America, we're also going to do the same for you.
Same.
And
Yeah.
as a
Mm,
result, yeah, Hollywood might just lock itself out of the
Global
industry.
film
Yeah,
industry, yes.
yeah. And I remember the last sentence I put was, "Pass the popcorn. This show is about to get weird." So I'm just waiting to see what's happening.
Yeah. See, I mean, hey, I read a few books on economics. In fact, some of the books I've read in the last 10 years, maybe 60% history and economics. And I'm a free market person, okay?
So,
And I want the free market to continue. However, I ask myself, why is America able to impose these tariffs and these countries are willing to negotiate? I mean, if it's just about America imposing these tariffs unilaterally, okay, without any whatever, then these countries can easily say no. Okay,
sure,
but then there must be something that we as ordinary people don't know that enables America to impose these tariffs. Now, I don't know how true or how accurate this is. I heard that many countries already imposed some level of tariffs on American products, even though America didn't impose the same tariffs on them in the first place. Okay, that's one. And then I also looked at the things that was exposed in the USAID issue. Okay, and I found out that so many countries around the world has been largesting on the aid being provided by USAID. Okay, so that means we, let's say Nigeria and Africa, for example, has been gaining so much from the US government. In fact, I also say we have been somewhat being controlled at some level by the money coming from them. So if I didn't know all that, there must be something also happening in the trade in the trade space, which I didn't know. You know, and like you talk about transparency, uh, I would say we are not very transparent in those spaces. So I'm just sitting back and seeing the reaction. Okay, the reaction from these countries that enables me to see, okay, there's something that makes the US impose these tariffs, other than what we normally assume in economics, that free trade is the best way to go. I still believe I still believe that free trade is still the best way to go, but there's something underneath all of this which me and you may not know.
You know, to be honest with you, I've tried to get my head around the tariff issue.
Mm.
Um, I know that certain objectives, which is talked about, reduce trade deficits, um, boost domestic
Manufacturing.
manufacturing, and all of that. Um, the impact around the world, there's been business uncertainty around the world in
Yeah.
terms of global supply chain shifts, market volatility, and all of that. I think for me, the situation remains very dynamic,
Yeah.
and
It
there's a lot
does.
of potential. There's going to be a lot of potential adjustments as they go on. Yesterday, the UK and
India.
USA, they signed their deal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about deals. So I'm just kind of like looking and waiting to see how this will impact us. But I think the most serious impact for Nigeria actually is the aid that has been cut off,
Yes.
which is, they said it's 90 days that they've frozen the USAID funding, for instance. So after 90 days, we'll see what is going to happen. But it's going to have significant political and economic repercussions for our country.
Yeah.
For instance, if you look at our health sector, um, I think every year, in 2023, they gave us $600 million for things like HIV, malaria, vaccine distribution,
Yeah.
etc. But that's not even as much as what the Bill Gates Foundation gave Nigeria, for
Okay.
instance. Yeah, Bill Gates spent over $1 billion in Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay, but when they cut off the aid, obviously we're going to have a lot of fiscal pressure,
Mm.
which is going to strain our national budget,
Yeah.
and in the process is going to halt certain development projects. If you look at areas like Maiduguri and the Northeast,
Yeah.
where we've had a lot of aid workers and economic activities, there's going to be a downturn. And the businesses in those areas that were thriving
Based
because
on
of
those aid.
aid-related demand are now going to face a lot of financial difficulties, which is going to put a lot of pressure on government. So these are serious issues. And I
Yeah.
think in terms of governance and public perception, I think maybe our government has relied on foreign aid for too long.
Too much. Yeah.
You know? And as a result, they've fostered some kind of dependency.
Dependency, yes.
You know? And what that has created is their inability to develop sustainable development strategies. So if the aid is stopping, what might happen is that we might have to reevaluate our governance practices and encourage the pursuit of more self-reliant policies.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure what it's going to do to our diplomatic relations or how it's going to impact our security challenges, but it presents a lot of both challenges and opportunities. But while it poses immediate economic and political difficulties, maybe it's a chance for us to pursue greater self-reliance and reform.
All right. That's it.